Hello, this is Faith Jones coming at you again with another one of my videos. And today I want to talk to you about interracial dating and how the desirability of our men isn't exactly what everyone thinks it's cracked up to be, especially in the minds of the delusional black man. I have been warring all week long with black men because I have taken away so many of their excuses in all of my previous videos where they've, come up with so many excuses as to why they haven't built anything, why they haven't been there, for the children and uncovered their hoishness and, pretty much came out with the accurate numbers of single, unwed black fathers being 66%. Just kind of broke a lot of stereotypes and I hurt a lot of feelings and so black men didn't have anything else to cling on to except, well, we're the most desirable men in the nation and everybody wants us because we got the big D. Well, not so fast. This is going to be another ego crushing video. Sorry. Yeah, I've been doing some research and went to quite a few dating sites. On the issue of interracial dating, when you try to get some reliable research from census, they don't really have a way to measure dating. So that's not something that you would get from the Centers of Disease Control or U.S. Census or any of that. So then there was a lot of these websites that have these online dating surveys. So right now, the dating surveys are the most reliable data that we have on this, unfortunately. Hint, hint, hint. U.S. Census, hint, hint, hint. Centers for Disease Control, hint, hint, hint. We need some reliable dating data now. So anyway, because we got some delusional people out here that really want to be accepted so badly into anybody's society except their own, especially the self-hating black men. No one can be more egregious of this crime than them. But looking here at this chart, the name of this particular website is Daily Mail at dailymail.com.uk. And the title of the article is How Race Matters in Romance. Dating app reveals most men fancy Asian women while majority of females prefer white men. And it says here that data from Facebook dating app Are You Interested found men from all different races preferred a partner of another race over their own. And researchers looked at 2.4 million heterosexual interactions. That's a lot of people. That's a lot. So this was a massive survey. Most men preferred Asian women, with the exception of Asian men. Asians love Latinos, and I know that because looking at that firsthand out here on the West Coast, yeah, they love them Latinos. Anyway. While all women except black women were most drawn to white men. So it says here, all women except black women. Black women, we are not falling for it because we want our own black men. We're trying to preserve a legacy over here. Thank you very much, unlike some other people. But I digress. So here is the infamous chart that measures desirability. And on the left side, we have women responding to men. And on the right side, we have men responding to women. Now, as you can see, black women, true to form, we respond mostly to black men. Mostly to black men. White women, they prefer their own men. Asian women prefer the white man, and Latino women prefer the white man. So the Asian and Latino guy, they're kind of like, hey, left out in the cold, shivering. Nobody's checking for them. However, the only reason why the black man is the second most desirable man is because the black woman is holding them down, as we always do. Sisters, come on, let's give ourselves a hand, because we always holding our men down. But ain't none of these other brides holding them down. They are holding down the white man, as you can clearly see. All arrows point to where? White. Now, men responding to women. Are black men holding their women down? No. No. Black men mostly respond to Asian women. And I was really shocked about that. That was a surprise. I thought it was going to be white women. But no, black men are trying to hit up on some Asian stuff. And Asian women's like, I want white men. So black men are shooting their shot. And they're getting shot down. Asian women don't want to have nothing to do with them. So then white men, they are responding more to Asian women. But that's to their benefit because Asian women also got the hots for them too. So white men are shooting their shot and they are hitting the target. Because Asian women are like, yeah, baby, come on over here. And Asian men, they don't even want no parts of their own women. They want Latino women because they want to live la vida loca, okay? They like to live like crazy with the Latino women. Latino women crazy. But anyway. And the Latino man wants the Asian woman. So overwhelmingly in the category of men responding to women, Asian women win. They are the most desired women in this nation according to the survey. Whereas the white woman is the second most desired woman, and the Latino woman, the third most desired woman, and the black woman in the cold by herself left shivering because ain't nobody checking for us. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Latino woman is the second most desired woman. Nobody's checking for the white woman either. There's no arrows going over here either. So let me just review that again. The Asian woman is the most desired woman. The Latino woman is the second most desired woman because the Asian men are holding her down. But it looks like the white woman and the black women are the ones that's sitting off to the side twiddling our thumbs wondering what the hell is going on. All right. Well, now after analyzing this for a little bit, I do realize that this is an online survey and I take these with a grain of salt, because like I said, we don't have any accurate or reliable data from any real research. It's just this online crap. Anybody can say what they want to say online, but this is all we have, as far as dating is concerned. Dating data, they don't really have a way to measure it, I guess. So that's the reason why I guess nobody has any really accurate research on it. But 2.4 million people is still a lot of people. So I like to, in cases like this, where I just don't think that this is enough to go on, I like to get a second opinion. So I went to yet another website. And the name of this website is npr.org, okay? And they also did a dating study. And the name of their study is called Odds Favor White Men, Asian Women on Dating Apps. So white men and Asian women are also winning in their study. And this is a totally different study than the first one that I told you about. So here's a little excerpt that I'm going to read to you regarding this. It says, researchers recently took data from the Facebook app Are You Interested? And found that not only is race a factor in our online dating interests, but particular races get disproportionately high and low amounts of interest. Of the 2.4 million, and this is another massive survey, 2.4 million heterosexual interactions, researchers reviewed. The findings show, number one, women get 3 times the interactions that men do. And I can believe that. Yes, I do. There's a lot of thirsty men out here on the internet. Number 2, all men seem to be more interested in people outside their race. I can believe that as well. Number 3, black men and women get the lowest response rates to their messages. So once again, black men and black women are where? Low on the totem pole. Nobody wants us, poor little tic-tacs. So, lastly, all women except black women are most drawn to white men, and men of other races, with one notable exception, prefer Asian women. So I thought this was most interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me see if there was more from the site. It seemed like there was more. Oh, yes, some quick facts from the OkCupid data. Okay. Quick fact. Black women respond the most because we are thirsty. We want some attention. And number 2, white men get more replies from almost every group, just like the other surveys stated. Everybody's holding that white man down. They want them white men. And number 3, white women prefer white men. Asian and Latino women prefer them even more exclusively than white women. So everybody wants the white man. Nowhere so far have I seen anything remotely looking like black men are the most desired. So far, it looks like white men are winning, 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 winning. But I digress. Like I said, that was just another online survey. So, I take those with a grain of salt. So far, though, 2 out of 2, they match up. So I said, okay, let's go to yet another site that did a survey on this particular subject. And this was the OkCupid site itself. And the website can be located and found at the blog.okcupid.com. And the name of their article is entitled Race and Attraction from 2009 to 2014, What's Changed in 5 Years. Alrighty, so says 5 years ago, the basics of race and attraction on OkCupid looked like this. Men, non-black men applied a penalty to black women. So we already know no other race of men want the black woman, okay? And I'm a black woman saying that. Black men, note how it doesn't sound like my feelings are hurt about this. Because once again, when you are emotionally unattached from a subject, you can just freely speak the truth about it. So, non-black men applied a penalty to black women, while black men showed little racial preference either way. So black men basically wanted to have any woman that would have them. They didn't have any type of preference or whatever. Now, on the woman's side, all women preferred men of their own race. So all the women was like, I'm not trying to, step away from my man. I want to be with my man and my man only. So this is back in 2009. But while they were shooting that off, they were otherwise penalizing both Asian and black men. So women of all other races was like, okay, if I were to date out, I would not date an Asian or a black man. So once again, in lining up with the other online surveys, it seems that they're saying that Asian and black men again fall at the bottom. Well, here's how the exact person-to-person numbers shook out. So here's the charts from 2009 from the OkCupid Quick Match scores. Oh, goodness, tongue-tied. All right, so this is the section of men rating women. And since we're only concerned here with the black and white portion, I'm gonna spare you my commentary about the entire thing because that could go on and on forever. And I don't want to be up that long. I'm ready to go to sleep. But anyway, I digress. So white men rating Asian women. White men Like Asian women, 6% during the 2009 period. Black women, negative 18%. Latina women, positive 2%. And they overwhelmingly want their own women, 10%. So white men mostly wanted their own women back in 2009. Let's see what black men are doing over here. Well, black men, they wanted Asian women by 3%. And they really were hating on their own women back in 2009. The responses they had towards their own black women, less than 3%, negative 3%. But I guess black men thought, hey, if I'm going to be on an online dating site and try to get at a woman, I'm going to get at some women I don't see every day. I don't know. That could have been the case, but whatever. Like I said, I take these with a grain of salt. Then they were positive 3% at wanting to get with Latina women. So they really wanted to get with Asian and Latina women. They're really curious about that right there. And it was a negative 3% for white women. So, wow, it was about the same disdain for black and white women in 2009 for black men. Now, let's go down here to women rating men. What did the white women think about Asian men? Negative 12%. They really didn't like Asian men. What did they think about black men? Didn't like black men either. Negative 6%. And they were open to Latino men by 1%, but overwhelmingly they wanted their own man. And black women, same thing, negative 11%. We did not want no parts of no Asian men. We overwhelmingly want to be with our own man by 16%. Latino men, negative 4%. White men, we didn't care either way, 0%. It wasn't negative, it wasn't positive. But overwhelmingly, most of the women wanted to be with their own men during that time in 2009. So now let's fast forward here. Let's go down to the 2004 chart, blow that up. All right, 2014 OkCupid Quick Match scores. Let's take a look at men rating women in 2014. Looking at white men rating Asian women by 9% positive. White men definitely don't want to have no parts of black women. Negative 17%. They like no black women for them. Matter of fact, they'll give it any other woman except for black women because it's positive 3% for Latina and positive 6% for their own white women. So white men prefer Asian women over their own white women. That was the change from 2009 to 2014. Whereas in 2009, they were preferring their own women over Asian women. Now the Asian women are where the white women were during that time. So that's kind of crazy. Now, black men rating women. Black men rating to be with Asian women, 2%. Black women, okay, we're in the positive. We're on the radar, 1%. So we went from being negative 3 to a positive 1% in 2014. And Latino women, 2%. White women, negative 6%. Now, you would think with all this media propaganda and all the stuff that you see on Facebook, that number would be way higher than that. But black men are not trying to get at white women like that online. Isn't that amazing? Quite amazing. All right, so down to women rating men. What do white women think of Asian men? Negative 12%. They did not change their stance on this from 2009 to 2014. And as far as black men, negative 8%. It actually went up 2%, their disdain for black men. Black men, where is the love? Where these white women, they didn't want you back in 2009. And now they really don't want you in 2014, according to these dating sites. They're not responding to you. Wow. Now, they're open to Latino men, positive 1%, but they overwhelmingly want their own man by 19%. Let's see what black women think. Okay, black women, negative 13%. We still don't want no Asian man. We want no parts of no Asian man. We don't want no parts of no Latino man either, negative 3%. No parts of no white man, -6%. The only man black women is holding down is who? Black men. So these studies are pretty much in correlation with one another. They're pretty much seeing the same thing and been pretty much on point, as a matter of fact. Pretty much on point. And I was on Wikipedia, trying to see if I could get some Census Bureau statistics on the situation. And all I could get was married people statistics. Once again, the Census Bureau and all these other places, they don't measure stuff like dating. They can measure things. They can measure like births. They can measure when people get married, when people get divorced, death, that sort of thing. But dating, they don't really do that. But the closest I get here is okay, who is actually hooking up with who? So I said, okay, well, I'll just look at the number of interracial marriages, okay? And actually, interracial marriages, they said that it's on the increase since 1967. It's on the increase. So that's a good thing for the swirlers, okay? And once again, I'm not against anybody being with who they want to be with or dating who they want to date. But I have a problem with you kind of bring and put a whole group of women into your personal decision. Like that's some self-hating type stuff. Like you're telling the entire world that you were such a loser within your own race that now you had to go run and be exclusively with women of another race, because basically what you're saying is the women of your race dogged you out and kind of, chewed you up and spit you out. And I would not want to be that person telling that story, saying that this is why I'm with white guys now. Date who you want to date, but, basically, be a grown up about it, be an adult about it. You don't owe anyone any explanation for who you choose to be with. If you're a grown person and you pay your own bills, you get up and you take care of yourself, and you don't have to explain nothing of what you're doing to anybody. That's your business. That's personal. So for black men to get online as soon as they get some white or any non-black stuff in their life and make a big deal about it and start making these anti-black women parades all up and down YouTube, that right there is a sign of childish immaturity on such a huge level. I don't even think they have an atomic bomb to contain it. But I digress. Yeah, sorry about that tangent right there. But yeah, so now we have married couples in the United States in 2010. And it looks like here, white men that had a white wife, white men marry their own women 97% of the time, according to this chart. And white men with a black woman during 2010 was like less than 1%. It was like so rare. They married Asian at 1%, and they had wife of other races at 0.9%. So they were almost like 100%, just into their own women. So that's like really hot, right? But most people, marry their own en masse, because look here. Here's black men. Okay, black men in 2010, they only had a white wife, like 8.6% of them were married to a white woman, whereas 89% were married to black women. And like maybe less than 1% had an Asian wife, and 1.3% may have had like a wife of another nationality. So, there's interracial dating is a thing, but it's not that big of a thing. Everybody pretty much marries their own mate en masse, it looks like. Let's look at the Asian guy. He marries this woman 91.8% of the time, too. So, so much for the whole sorority movement. Everybody seems to be, sticking with their own. So it's not as prevalent as we all think it is. There's not like a super swirl thing going on. in spite of the media propaganda, when you turn on the commercials and you see the white man with his black wife and mixed children running around on the commercial. I think I've only seen a black woman with a white man that looked like he might have been her husband. I can count on one hand how many times I've actually seen that in real life. And for them to go and make a commercial like it's the normal thing and splatter it all over TV, I'm like, no, this is not reality. Why are they just kind of cramming this down our throats like that all of a sudden? I have no idea. But yeah, it's not happening like that. Not at all. Not at all. Also, I was on another website and I stumbled across some more interesting stuff. It looks like there was a flyer circulating around SMU campus, Armstrong University, I guess, or whatever. And this pamphlet has some pretty disturbing stuff in it. It is basically titled "Why White Women Shouldn't Date Black Men," and this is a picture that somebody took of the pamphlet. But just reading through some of this, just the sheer racism of it all. This had to have been written by some white supremacist. Now, I did look up, a lot of the information that was on here. A lot of the information I already knew. What they did was they took information that is true, by the way. I mean, these statistics are true, but they use these statistics in such a racist way. And the reason why I want to read this is because black men, you should hear how you talk to black women. And this is the way these white supremacists regard you. When you tell black women they have, the number one HIV rate and herpes and chlamydia and STD ridden. Oh my goodness, you guys sound like white supremacists. And this pamphlet was written by white supremacists against black men. And I think that black men, you guys have been beaten down so much that you want to oppress somebody. And I think that you're getting this white supremacist speech from white people and you want to feel superior over somebody because your talk points, the way some of you come at black women, this is how you come at us and this is how they come at you. Here it goes right here. Why white women shouldn't date black men. He's much more likely to abuse you. White women who marry black men multiply their chances of being killed by their spouses by 12.4, a 1,140% increase. The risk of non-fatal abuse and girlfriend abuse is also much higher in black men than white men. And blacks are twice as likely as whites to abuse their children. Now, isn't that the same thing that black men hurl in black women's face, that black women are child abusers? These white supremacists are saying the same thing about you. And this is what makes me think that you're getting your abusive supremacist style hate speech talk from. Black men have learned to speak hate speech to their women the way that white supremacists speak hate speech about them. And another thing that may sound familiar in hate speech, these white supremacists are saying to black men, he's much more likely to have STDs. How many times have black women been in a forum and you're talking about the tea in China and black men will bring up that black women have STDs? Too many times to count. You couldn't even be talking about STDs, but black men will come in to insult and put down black women with their hate speech in the middle of nowhere, unprovoked a lot of times. But I digress. Let me read on. He's more likely to have STDs. 1 in 16 black men has HIV. Compared to straight white men, straight black men are 15 times more likely to be diagnosed with HIV and more likely to go undiagnosed as well. That's why over 50% of HIV/AIDS cases among white women result from having sex with black men. Black men are 8 times more likely than white men to have syphilis, 12 times more likely to have chlamydia, and 26 times more likely to have gonorrhea. Up to 78% have herpes. Doesn't this hate speech sound familiar to some of you black men? You ought to be ashamed of yourselves if you have said any of this to black women, because this is the same thing they say about you, and you all think they love you. Ooh, isn't the illusion of inclusion a hell of a drug? Let me read on. They say your kids probably won't be smart. Now they're calling you stupid. How many times have black men called black women stupid? Too many times to count. But these white supremacists have a special way of calling you black men stupid. Let me read on. The average white IQ in America is 100, but the average black IQ is 85. Of course, you could date one of the few smart black men. However, regressive to the mean is a law of biology. If a parent has an extreme trait, the children tend to be closer to average. Since 88% of blacks have IQs under 100 and only 2.3% are smart enough to earn a good degree, being smart is an extreme trait for blacks. Your kids will regress to a mean well below average for a child. You should probably just avoid black men. Blacks are more likely to commit every type of violent crime than whites. 4.0 times more likely for rape, 7.3 times for gang rape, 7.6 times for robbery, 6.0 times for murder. This is not accounted for by poverty or police racism. Furthermore, black criminals target whites. They are more likely to attack whites than black. I have seen that study, by the way. And it does say that, but they're using this, not to inform but be hateful. Then they have these examples of horrific stories that happen to white women, kind of like what black men do to black women when they show those fight videos on YouTube. Or they seem to find little news clippings of random black women that broke the law. And they want to make it seem like all black women are doing it. This is what they're doing to black men. Let me continue. The stories, horrific and sadly predictable. The stories below shouldn't be surprising given the data on race and crime. Unfortunately, the mainstream media have ignored and censored these crimes for decades because the truth made black men look violent, racist, and misogynistic. Black men wipes out white exes' families. In July 2011, Roderick Dantzler, black, of Grand Rapids, massacred his estranged white wife, their daughter, who was 12, and his in-laws, his white ex-girlfriend, her sister, and her niece, who was only 10. Then he shot another white ex and killed himself. He really liked white girls until they left him. This is what they're saying about you. These are their little examples of how evil you are. Their examples, not mine. I'm just the messenger. I'm just reading what the flyer about you all says that was written by these hateful white supremacists. No, stop, don't hurt me. Above, in April 2011, neighbors heard Sarah Coit, 23, screaming for her life for 20 minutes before police found her nearly decapitated by the black man she had just tried to break up with. Then they continue on, another example. I'm dying, he stabbed me to death. Okay, how could someone cry, I'm dying, he stabbed me to death, if they're already dead? But anyway, I digress on that. Above, in November 2008, model Amy Barnes, 19, who liked to date black athletes, called for help as she bled to death slowly from 9 stab wounds and a 4-inch slash across her face, all inflicted by her live-in black boyfriend. Starts with brutal rape, gets much worse. Left in March 2008, model Katie Piper, they're continuously going on with it, 24 years old, tried to end a 2-week affair with Daniel Lynch after he had held her captive for 8 hours, raped her and smashed her head open. not yet ready to let go. Lynch had another black man burn her face off with acid. She lost vision in one eye, too. So, this is what they do. This is what they do when they don't like you. When they don't like you, they turn on the hate speech. So, black men who use the same type of hate speech against their own women, how did that feel? To hear the same type of hate speech directed at you from the same white people that you want acceptance from, that you want sexual access to their women. How does it feel to know that when you go amongst them in their society, this is what they're really secretly thinking about you? This is what they think. And I had gotten into an argument with another fellow YouTuber about the exact same issue about this interracial dating. And he, just like every other black man, touted, oh, white women love us. Oh, no, they love us. And he says, I can prove it. I can prove it. And then he gave me this website right here, viralactions.com. And when I went to the site, it wasn't the actual article that jumped out at me, which the title was 87% of white women want to have sex with black men, according to the study. This does not say that they're desiring black men the most. This is saying they want to have sex with black men. But this picture is what really jumped out at me, and I thought this was a joke. Look at this picture, guys. Look at this picture. This is a picture of a brother barely got his arms around this big, obese white woman. But, when I went and read the article, it was actually a legit study from Rutgers University. And I'm just going to read a little excerpt from it. It says the study reveals that a whopping 87% of white women dream of having sex with a black man, and in some cases, many already have. Interestingly enough, the same study, only 13% of white women said that they would actually marry and raise a family with a black man. Of the 800 involved in the study, 8% said they have actually dreamt of having a threesome with a black man. The fact that there is such a huge disparity between the number of white women who want to have sex with black men versus those who would marry black men shows that many still have a stereotypical view of black men. Black men are seen as sexual masters in the bedroom, but almost completely absent from the corporate boardroom. So when it comes to sex, most white women would prefer a black man, but they look toward their own white men when they are looking for a provider. And this goes back to the whole economy thing. The whole white men have built their economy, so they get the pick of the litter. And I was saying that when you look at the charts, where did all the arrows point to? What man did all the women want? White men. White women are not attracted to a man's looks. I mean, yeah, we still want a good-looking man, but a man isn't measured by his looks or what he can do sexually. A man is measured by his economics, what he can provide monetarily. Can he take care of that woman? That's what the women are measuring you by. And so white men are always going to be the most desired men because they have a better economic structure than any other man in this nation. So black men, going back, let's recap. None of the studies support what you're saying online, that white women are just banging down the door to get some of this broke, social economy starved black penis that you get. They're not knocking down the door to get at that. They do not want to trade places with black women. There are a few of their rejects that, don't have any other choice because no decent man of their own race or any other race will have them. So Black men tend not to have a preference either way, so they know that if they come over here, they're going to get some acceptance. But by and large, the women are going to go where the money is. So if you don't have your money together, you are not going to be the most desired man in the nation. The white man is. He's the one holding that crown. You want to take that away from him? Then you got to build something. Well, anyway, I've said my piece on this. Again, this is Faith Jones coming at you with another one of my videos. Please like, share, and definitely subscribe. Have a good one.